And now we come to talk about media picks for the month. Those of you at home will notice that Andy has gone. He's got important business to attend to. But actually, this month he has been very busy. Actually, he didn't really have a media pick for the month. But for me, actually, there's another slightly quirky one that I'd like to bring to your attention at home, and that is almost from an anthropological perspective. I would strongly recommend trying out Louis Theroux. Whether it's Louis Theroux's more recent work, simply under his name, Louis Theroux, or his TV series from the late 90s, Louis Theroux's Weird Weekends. It is a challenge to watch this TV series. Now, I've been diving in on Netflix, and there are a couple of episodes which I haven't done because it is a bit of a challenge. When you go to watch something about the ins and outs of extreme Christianity or whatever. You're watching people who often simply cannot bring yourself to naturally agree with their perspective on the world. There was an episode about neo-Nazis. There was an episode about ultra-Zionists. An episode about people who were in telesales. So, for example, people working on the home shopping network in the US. And at every point, Louis approaches his subject with respect, with a certain amount of, I think, willful naivete, and essentially as a subculture, as a little cultural biome that he's being allowed in, and often being allowed into environments where the people who he's talking to are normally quite suspicious of outsiders, and also suspicious of normal, of normal culture, of broader culture, for example, of the New World Order, so called, or perhaps the government or whatever. So he's being allowed into these environments, and he seems to respect that. For example, there's a group of people who are UFO chasers. They're obsessed with the idea of UFOs and aliens, this kind of thing. And in that sense, he is acting very much like an anthropologist, and he's challenging his own worldviews, challenging us as viewers to not necessarily get on board with the subject, certainly not to join the cult, as it were, but maybe just to assess how people live their lives, and to be open to the fact that actually there are people who could be on the same street as you who are living very different lives from you. So anthropologically, it's a very good exercise. If you one day want to go out and meet people, from vastly different cultures, vastly different parts of the world, vastly different religious beliefs, then Louis Theroux is a good place to start, I would say, because you can do it in the comfort of your own home. You can pause it whenever you have to, and but also as well, I would encourage you to sit down and just bite the bullet. I'm going to have to bite the bullet on one of them, certainly. There's one in particular about, for example, the porn industry and actors and the culture behind performance, as it were, which just seems really weird. I'm not sure I want to watch it. It seems a bit weird, a bit too weird. I'm not particularly prudish in that sense, but as a subculture, it's one of those things where you just think, what is it like to live like that? And maybe that's the reason why I should watch it. And I guess that's the point. It's an interesting idea. I think Louis is brilliant. He's a very, very clever man, and he brings a persona to these excursions that's charming, that is asking the questions that you want to ask, but also that doesn't. At no point does he really patronise people. He certainly will voice, for example, when he's asked, do you want to accept Jesus into your life or whatever, he'll say, well, I'm not sure I can because I don't believe, in Jesus. He'll say, I don't believe in God. He's open about that sort of stuff. But he never insults the people that he's with. He's there to observe and to ask questions like an anthropologist. So yeah, that's my media pick for the month, would be anything Louis Theroux, because I've been watching quite a lot this month, and it's fascinating. Anyway, guys, as I say, Andy couldn't be here for this last segment this month, but thank you so much for watching, and I guess we'll see you in September. As ever, until next time, do take care. Bye-bye.